My hat! This is race 6 of the setup board series. I am 7th, starting 7th or 8th. 7th. Yep, I am 7th. So I'm 7th place. Here I go. No, this is an important race, but my result isn't really going to help me. But here we go. So I do like the car. I want to call it Pac-Man because I keep hitting all the dots. I'm kidding. That's just me being a bad driver. But the car is awesome. This is an X-Ray X4 electronics. I'm running the same electronics that I have in the past. So it is a Hobbywing G4 21.5, and I do love this motor. It runs very cool, very responsive. I like it a lot. My chassis is broken. It's been broken since the morning, but I don't have another chassis. Shop didn't have one, so I'm stuck driving with a broken chassis. So really quick, let me go ahead and interrupt the race. Look at the holes at the very bottom. Those go to the lower front arms. So those screws, as you can see, are punching through the chassis. So that happened qualifier 1, and then I noticed it before qualifier 2 after inspecting everything. The screws were sort of bent in there, and I was wondering why I was having such a rough qualifier 1. It was horrible, really bad. And then I saw that, so I had to finish punching the screws through, then taking it apart, putting them back in, setting them in, and then just praying that they would stay. And qualifier 2, I had a very good run, so I went from dead last, no contest, to qualifying 7th for the main. I'm going to end up in 5th place, which is pretty good. You know, two places in front of where I started. Now, I didn't have enough time to add some CA glue to the holes, let it dry, and then clean them up. And try to set the screws back in there. I'm just going to have to buy another chassis. Now, CA glue will help in a pinch, but I didn't even have enough time for that little pinch. So I decided to drive it like that again, and the picture that I just showed you, wow, I dodged it. I dodged one right there. The picture that I just showed you, that was after this race. So before I started the race, the screws were flush with the chassis just as they're supposed to be, and then after the race, that's how they ended up. So they were getting ready to punch through again. And one of the things that you're going to notice is, well, maybe you'll notice it, but at the beginning of the race, how I was sort of running strong, and then the car's just going to degrade little by little. And it seems like it doesn't make a difference, but it makes a huge difference because now I have a little too much kick up in the front. Because of that, now the chassis, for example, is 2.2 millimeters roughly, and those screws are punching out almost halfway. So that's very similar to adding, let's say it's 0.75 of a millimeter, and it's not quite a millimeter, or we could say it's a millimeter. But still, now the lower front arms are I guess kicking down, right? They're lifting up, so the front is going down. So I think I said kick up, so it'd be kick down. And that makes a huge difference when it comes to handling. The car, the front isn't gripping the way it should, or it was, because it's not in the weight like it should. So this turn, I can't even take that turn, that very last one. It just sort of keeps going, then comes back in. Here I have to get it out of the way. Yeah, those guys are fast. That guy in the blue and yellow, super fast. So that is something that I had to deal with. Now, not a big deal. It was still super fun. Luckily, I didn't break anything else. I was going to say anything major, but I did have to replace a front arm, lower arm. And now I'm going to have to replace the chassis, which I guess it happens. At least it's not the entire car. Still a beautiful car, this X-Ray X4. Very durable despite that. And to be honest, most cars that have the pivot balls and the suspension rather than a bulkhead, this will happen eventually. After enough hard hits, it will happen. Some after not such hard hits. So this X-ray is definitely very durable. It's really the little steering aluminum pieces that tend to bend, so those are something that you have to be careful with. But if they were plastic, they would probably break, if you think about it, with the impact. But this is it. Unfortunately, I got 5th in this race, and I need to do a lot better, so I'm not going to be getting a setup board for this. Oh well, there's always next season. There isn't much difference, though, in points between 3rd and 4th. Obviously, I'm 4th. Oh well. Well, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.
What? Oh, my hair! My tongue! My rod!